We
exactly.
should do an episode where we clean the MCU slate and we just like make a full on prediction of what we're gonna see. Like Armor Wars. Remember that as a show, and now it's gonna be a movie. Is that even gonna happen now? Sam Rockwell was supposed to come back. Is he actually going to? I don't know if that's even a priority for Marvel at this point. Deadpool 3 is coming, and we talked about it last episode. It's going to carry the MCU through 2024. It seems like a very, very massive turning point for the MCU as we head towards the back half of the multiverse saga, and as we head towards Secret Wars, and as we head towards the MCU, the X-Men implementation into the MCU. Um, you brought up Daredevil, upcoming MCU series, Born Again. I think we have to bring up this post credit here, boys, and I want to get your thoughts on it because I thought this was exciting. I was disappointed. This is where we get the most Kingpin, right? Like in this series, but the future is bright, I think, for this character in terms of him being, as Brad Winderbaum said, producer of Echo and Marvel producer overall. He is going to be the street level Thanos of the MCU. And I think they really set the table. And even though this is Spotlight and it's not supposed to have massive implications, it is kind of setting up, right, what the template's going to look like for Daredevil Born Again, right? With him, meaning Wilson Fisk, seeing a vacancy of like people running for mayor, and they need someone, as they say in this post credit, bare knuckle, like boxer type of fighter that's going to enter the ring. I thought the dialogue was a little bit too spot on, a little too obvious there,
Yeah,
but
they really hit you over the head with it.
I'm really glad that we're just going to get Daredevil v Kingpin. Let's bring it back. Let's run it back, and let's do it in the MCU. Let's reinvigorate these MCU shows. And I think this one definitely has the potential to do a lot of damage and be honestly upper tier, maybe the most successful alongside Loki that the MCU has had. But Jax, your initial thoughts on that post credit?
Yeah, I mean, definitely exciting, right? I think you kind of expected it, right? To an extent, at least things that I've seen. I didn't expect it to be the post credit, but the things that I've seen, that Fisk is going to run for mayor, and that's going to be like a major plot point in Daredevil Born Again. But the thing that I'm excited for too, right? Like Kingpin to be the Thanos of like the street level. Um, Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man
Mm.
4, if it ever comes out, gets confirmed, whatever. I don't know where that's at. But you look at that too, like that would be a really, really great Spider-Man 4 plot to have him like throw Daredevil in the movie as well for like a cameo, whatever, like have them fighting Kingpin. That would be wicked cool. So
Yeah.
like I think it's up from here, at least for like street level stuff. I think having Kingpin, like obviously that opens the door for Daredevil. Might see Punisher. You could see like the rest of the Defenders, which they just put on Disney Plus, like in the MCU timeline. So like a lot of cool street level stuff could be on the rise, and obviously Kingpin is the guy to have for your Thanos of the street level.
They're planting the seeds right now for future Spider-Man v Kingpin, and that's something that Vincent D'Onofrio has been an advocate for literal
Mhm.
years. Ever since like Daredevil was on Netflix, he'd been wanting to face Tom Holland's Spider-Man. He calls him out every time he's at Comic-Con. He loves playing Wilson Fisk. He would
Oh my god.
die for the opportunity to be in a Spider-Man movie as a, a primary antagonist. I think when they say street level, like Thanos, I think it's going to be a build up type of thing, like you're talking about, defenders, street level heroes coming together to take on Kingpin. But we talked about it, I believe, last week, Ricky Flex, where it's him pulling the strings maybe in Spider-Man 4. And it is. And they plant the seed with No Way Home, his Spider-Man's relationship with Daredevil. And I think it has a lot of potential. And I think it's heading in the right direction. We just got to get something where Vincent D'Onofrio is playing Kingpin in something worthwhile. Because I'm sick of like Hawkeye surprise appearance, but also lengthy amount of screen time. Echo, like, can we get Kingpin facing an adversary that actually means something in the MCU? You know, that's what I think we're building towards, which is what I'm excited for.
Yeah, the potential. Sorry, so like the anticipation levels when Kingpin like was rumored to be in Hawkeye. They mentioned Uncle in Hawkeye. Like people were going nuts. I was going nuts.
That was cool.
But that was lackluster, to use that word again, similar to his appearance in Echo. So now it's like Kingpin. This, when I was growing up and like watching the animated Spider-Man show, like he's recruiting the best villains to face Spider-Man. and he's kind of the brains of the operation. We saw Kingpin in Into the Spider-Verse, and I'm gonna be honest, like he looked like, I don't know, they overdid it, like for sure, like with the, he's huge and the small head and everything, like it was comical. So
Boulder.
Kingpin hasn't been done right, and like obviously Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace, like he was pretty good as well in Daredevil, but that movie itself was not good. Batfleck, my guy though. But overall, like we got to get Kingpin right. We got to get it right. And D'Onofrio, a great actor who, unlike these other great actors who only want to be in Marvel for one movie and out, he's like, no, I'll be in it forever. I am dedicated. We got to take advantage of this. So they got to get Kingpin right because his limit, well, he doesn't have like his ceiling's so high. So we got to get it right. Is all I'm trying to say. And here, I'm just afraid that Marvel fans now, after seeing him in Hawkeye, after seeing him in Echo, they're just like forgetting how good this actual villain is.
Yeah, how scary he is, right? And how dominant of a force he is, and what the power he yields. I don't think Echo did him any favors with that finale, with him as like a domineering force. Like that was really, really lackluster, and it really upset me, to be honest. And I thought it was just a terrible, terrible, terrible way for his character to go out. And I think they got to separate him with his storyline with his niece, with Maya here, right? Because that seems like it's kind of holding the character back in a way. And it wasn't the greatest incorporation into the MCU. And the first time you see him, you don't want it to be Hawkeye. You don't want it to be Hawkeye. You want it. I feel like it is a get right. Daredevil Born Again is going to be a get right for the MCU TV series and Kingpin. Okay, that's going to do it for our breakdown of Echo episodes 1 through 5. And that's going to do it for episode 316 of The Drive-In. Thank you, Jax, for joining us. A pleasure as always. I feel like, what are we hitting 1 for 3 in terms of solid or good MCU projects thus far?
The Marvels.
Oh my God, are we 1 for 4?
We're 1 for 4, I think.
Oh my God, we're sort of like Shaq at the free throw line. This is really
Deadpool
bad.
3.
Yeah,
we'll be back. We'll be back.
Yeah,
that's what we always say. This post-credit scene, man. That's it was good. It got me. But this is what Marvel does. This is what they do.
Yeah, but Deadpool 3, I mean, you're getting Wolverine. You're getting comic book actor. I mean, we have to be back at that point. If it's not, the panic button has been smashed.
Like it's already out.
3 million times. Yeah. Oh yeah. Fingers on it. But like at that point, like all bets are off.
And I think, Ricky Flex, what we need to do is have Jax on for our 10 bold predictions for Deadpool 3, because that is going to be crazy in terms of who's going to appear in what type of fashion, what villains might we see, what kind of hijinks would Deadpool be getting himself into and Wolverine into. I think our 10 bold predictions has Jack's name written all over it.
Oh, yeah.
Would love to.
All right. Ricky Flex, next episode, massive checkup. Holy crap. We got news upon news. We got Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Grogu movie on the way. We're going to be talking Star Trek. We're talking Supergirl. And then we have like Tom Cruise, like partnering up with Warner Brothers. We have new trailers. We got Amy Winehouse, Back to Black, right? We have Mr. and Mrs. Smith coming from Donald Glover. You also have Donald Glover playing 21 Savage in an upcoming movie that has 21 Savage in it. What the hell's going on? We have maybe the most stacked checkup in the history of the Drive-In podcast coming up, and you don't want to miss it. Make sure you tune in to our channel on YouTube at the Drive-In Pod. At T, capital D, capital I, then lowercase podcast. Stay up to date. Make sure you're following us wherever you listen, Spotify, Apple, wherever, and leave us a review and rate us 5 stars. Social media, Twitter at the Drive-In Pod, and Instagram. Check out the graphics from Ricky Flicks. Stay up to date with new trailers and news on our Twitter feed. That's going to do it for episode 316 of TDI. Until next time, we will smell ya.